Richard Taylor is an events guy. He's been executing world-class live events for over 20 years. He's here today to talk about his new venture, Visland Live. Welcome to Biz One-on-One, Richard.
Good to see you, Randy.
And you're on Biz One-on-One because we are going to be doing a big Biz One-on-One event. It's a little ways down the road, but what can you tell us about it?
Absolutely. Well, what we've been looking at is the whole ethos of Biz One-on-One and how we can take this TV production in front of a live audience. And take the business leaders that you're talking with here, bring them to the stage, have some one-on-one conversations, have some group chats, and build a business and entrepreneurship conference around these people and some other business leaders that we're going to bring in specifically for the conference.
Yeah, which, the viewer may not know that the Biz One-on-One is not just a TV show, it's a whole community of entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs that we are building around North America. So I guess the date is going to be sometime in November 2018.
That's correct. Yeah. We're looking at about a 16-month timeline from today to get everything planned and organized and really make sure that that we have a world-class event that we're going to take to the business community.
So probably November, we're going to go to Scottsdale, Arizona, where we're also going to be shooting Biz One-on-One segments. Great time of year to get into the warmth of Arizona.
Absolutely. I've snowbirded myself a little bit down there, and I've loved my time in Arizona. So looking forward to getting back down to Scottsdale next year, and spending some time down there doing some planning as well.
So I detect a note of a little bit of a British accent there. And tell me your story. You've executed some amazing events over the years. How'd you get into the event business?
I'm from England originally, born in rural Lincolnshire, and then lived in the capital, London, for most of my life. And my career's really had 4 stages to it, 2 of which have been in event production. So I first oddly trained as a graphic designer in a graphic design studio in rural Lincolnshire. Moved to London and studied economics at London University. And while I was there, started my
graphic design to economics, a natural tie-in.
Well, I think we talk about left side and right side of the brain, and I'm somebody that that switches gears from one side to the other, pretty easily. And so I love working on creative projects, but I know that any creative project also has to make business sense. There's always going to be a need for a creative marketing project to, at the end of the day, affect the bottom line of a company. So graphic design, first of all, worked on some great projects with the first graphic design studio I worked with, including the rebrand and corporate identity of the Royal Mail in the UK, the equivalent of Canada Post.
Cool.
Back in the late 80s and early 90s. And then, like I say, moved to London, took economics at London University, and started to get a good sense for business there, and was working with the University Students' Union on the events committee there. And here's an interesting fact that you don't know as yet. The guy that I worked with there, who I reported to, in his very first job that you'll see on his online CV, none other than Ricky Gervais. So
really, that's who you remind me of, Ricky Gervais. So you worked with him or not?
I worked with him. So his before he does what he does now, and before that he worked for the BBC writing the very first version of The Office, the British version of The Office. Before that he was entertainment manager at the University of London. And I worked there as part of the events committee, and so we were working on events at the University of London Students' Union, and so I kind of got a feel for that, that being something that I was very passionate about. Loved seeing people coming together, having a good time, and so with a business partner started an event company there, oddly enough called Tall and Handsome Productions.
I won't ask which you were.
Well, I'm 6'3", so so my former business partner gladly took the handsome moniker, and we worked on developing nightclub events, basically hiring nightclub venues, booking DJs, and putting on great parties in London nightclubs in the early and mid 1990s.
So Richard, that got you a taste of the event world. And we fast forward all the way to, I think, a year or two ago. There you are, your company putting on one of the largest, most, I guess, influential events in the whole tech space, with none other than Steve Wozniak as your keynote speaker, and you got to spend some time with him.
Steve Wozniak was the big draw at the conference. As I had the role of producing the conference, I assigned myself the difficult job of being his handler while he was on site in Banff. So
that's the fun of being in charge, isn't it?
Exactly.
You get to take the best job. So what's Steve Wozniak like to hang out with?
He is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in the world. Very, very humble, very down to earth. He talks, two things that he's particularly passionate about is looking at technology from a engineer's first perspective. He's not dismissive of the role of other people in technology. The marketers, the venture capitalists, and so on. He recognizes their place, but he's very much about ensuring that the true brain power behind technology, I guess, gets the recognition that it deserves.
It's interesting that you bring that up, because that's a big part of what the Biz One-on-One community is all about, and that is putting entrepreneurs in the spotlight, just like we do on this show. Just to wrap it up, you're going to be working on pulling this whole conference together over the next number of months and over the next year. What can people do if they want to help out, get involved? How can they find out more about it?
So there's a couple of places online where you can go to find out more information. biz1on1.tv and also at Visland.live. So Visland.live is where we'll have information on the other events that we're producing.
Richard Taylor of the new company Visland Live and Visland Live Events. So great to have you, Richard. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.